Hi, friend, and welcome to the Inflection Point. I am Dr. Naomi Mwinga Kimuyu, your giftedness coach, and today we are naming a fear that carries grief, shame, and longing all at once wrapped together. But before we get there, this is a reminder that we are doing a series of episodes that are tackling fears that stop us from showing up in how God gifted us. This is the fifth episode. And I invite you to listen to the other episodes when you are done with this one, or you may pause this one and go and listen to the rest and then come back to this one, whichever way you choose. That's absolutely all right. And when you're done, would you kindly share this with somebody else you know will be blessed? So like I said, we are going through a series of episodes that are talking about some of the fears that stop us from showing up in exactly how God created us and accepting who we are and recognizing how God has created us. Today we are naming a fear that carries grief, shame, and longing all at once together. In this, it's a question that says, did I miss my moment? Or framed in another way, what if I already missed it? Maybe you've looked back at your life and thought, I should have started earlier. I wasted too much time. I missed my window. And I want to say this gently but firmly. No, you didn't. Absolutely no, you didn't. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 says that he has made everything beautiful in its time. Everything. It says everything beautiful in its time, in his time. Not our time, but in its time. And it's everything that has been made beautiful. So there's nothing wrong with your story up until where you are. You are in the perfect timing. So it says in his time or in its time, and it's not about our timing or their timing. I mean, the other people who are telling you should have done this earlier, or the voice that is telling you missed your moment. Not in their time, not in your time, but God makes everything beautiful in his own time. When we consider the story of Joseph, he had dreams as a teenager, visions of leadership, influence, and impact. And he talked about these visions and dreams to his brothers and his family, and that landed him in trouble. There came betrayal. He went into a pit, into slavery, into prison. And many years passed for Joseph before he got elevated into exactly where God was planning for him to be all along. And some of you, God gave you a dream many, many years ago, maybe even in your childhood. You know, there's a time maybe when you're a child, you were so clear that this is what I want to do. I used to dream of being a teacher. I don't know where that dream fell off, but now I teach in a different way. So I guess it has come back full circle by yielding to God. So maybe even in your childhood, you had a dream and you have desires. And, you know, we've talked about this before and said that desires do come from God. They are not man-made. They do come from God, unless, of course, they're desires of evil, which those do not come from God. If God gave you one or a dream and you've kept it somewhere in a shelf, this is your moment to dust it, get it off that shelf and begin working on it and begin to hand it back to him and ask him to use it in the way that he wants to use it. And if you know that God gave you a dream and a passion and you forgot about it, or you have not been working as hard on it as you should, it's not a problem. Just ask him to remind you. Or if you don't remember at all, you can ask God to remind you about it. Ask him to reveal to you a vision of yourself and the people that you are called to serve. But only do so if you are willing to follow through with the direction and next steps. That is a caution. Only ask God for direction and instruction if you are willing to follow through with what he tells you. We don't want to walk in disobedience now, do we? So back to Joseph. He's been in the pit, in slavery, in prison, and many years have passed. And when that moment came, Joseph was ready. Because even the detours that he seemingly experienced were preparation. We have an episode on this podcast that talks about the delays, the detours, and the trials, and how these are part of your story. You can check out episode 11, Finding Purpose in Pain, if you want to hear more about that. But here we are today. Genesis chapter 41, verse 14 says, Pharaoh sent for Joseph quickly. And because I like to read it in context, let me read it in the New Living Translation. It says, Pharaoh sent to Joseph at once, and he was quickly brought from the prison. Actually, it's twice. So he was sent for at once, and he was quickly brought from the prison. After he shaved and changed his clothes, He went in and stood before Pharaoh, and that was his moment. But Joseph had been waiting for many years. He waited for many years. He had even tried to ask the guys who were in prison with him, you guys, if you get out, please don't forget me, put in a good word for me. Nothing came through. But when his moment came through, it did come through, and it came through quickly. When the door opened, he didn't need to scramble, and he was already carrying the gift that was placed in him. Remember, favor was upon him even as he was in Potiphar's house. Favor was on him, and it was recognized by other people. While in the prison, the favor was still on him, the wisdom was still on him, and it was recognized even by the others. He was already walking in wisdom, and he was prepared all along. Friend, there is nothing that is wasted in God's economy. Not that thing that you think is a delay, not any heartbreak that you think has stopped you from doing the things that you need to do, not the years that you spent being unsure of what your calling, your purpose, your giftings are. Absolutely not. I've coached women who wish they had started earlier, or who are not sure about starting over because they feel that time has passed, in air quotes, and they feel that they are a bit late or too late to begin to do something that they really, really desire to do. But when they did start with the coaching, they were ready. I found out that their stories are rich, their wisdom is deep, their impact is undeniable. They are already delivering impact. That impact was just waiting to be uncovered, and we do so in our 3-hour coaching, or you can begin to do so in the Dare to Design to Deliver journal. So let me ask you a very simple question. What season have you felt was wasted or might have been preparation for you? Or what part of your story have you dismissed as delay when it was actually development? I want to invite you to reframe your timeline, to see your life through the lens of grace, and to trust that God hasn't forgotten you and that your moment is still unfolding. I started my journey of discovering my giftedness after 15 years of work in a research organization, and only in my 40s, yes, I've given away my age, partially, only in my 40s these things begin to make sense and become clear for me. One, because I was pursuing it, and two, because God was calling me from where I was, and three, I had to walk out in obedience and step out and begin to overcome the fears and the challenges, the very things we're talking about in this series. So I've walked in your shoes before, and I do have an idea of the self-limiting beliefs that one can have when navigating transitions. Believe me, I understand, and I can see where you're coming from there. But I want to encourage you that those challenges, those fears, those self-limiting beliefs, they're exactly what are going to be used to propel yourself into the next level. If you allow yourself to be used by God, if you allow your story to be told, regardless of whether you think it's perfect or not. This is exactly what the Design to Deliver journal helps you to do. In day 5, it's especially exciting because you have an opportunity to dream with God and to explore blue sky ideas and to dare to dream again. More about this inside the journal, about blue sky ideas. You'll begin to see that you are not behind, you are not left or forgotten, but you are being built up. And maybe you're thinking, I've wasted so much time, I missed the window, I am too old to start. Those are part of the excuses we're dismantling during this podcast. And I hear you loud and clear. I had those very fears myself. But I've worked with women like you, women of faith who felt stuck, unashamed, and unsure. And every single one of them has walked away with clarity, with a language, with a renewed sense of purpose. And so here is your moment. Don't let regret have the final word upon your life. Don't think that it's too late or it's impossible for you to get started or to keep going on your journey no matter where you are. Your trajectory changes starting today. Let restoration speak louder. As usual, we have 2 reflection points that I'd like you to think about and journal in your journal or in your book, or wherever you write your journals. I trust that you have been doing so even in all the other episodes. Question 1, the first reflection point is, what season have I felt that it was wasted or might have been preparation? What season felt wasted but might have been preparation? Secondly, what gift have I been carrying quietly, waiting for permission to use for whatever reason? What gift have I been carrying quietly, waiting for permission to use? I'd invite you to start the day, Design to Deliver journal today, get it, and begin to journal your thoughts, begin to follow the prompts, begin to consider what I have shared inside there in more depth than what I share usually on this podcast, and let God redeem the time. He's the ultimate redeemer. And redemption from God doesn't look like He'll bring you to the place where you think you should be. He'll bring you to the place where He knows you should be. Your days were numbered, your days were prepared for you in advance. Psalm 139, Ephesians 2:10, you can read those scriptures. He is the ultimate redeemer. He is well able to bring you to exactly where He wants you to be at this moment. And it doesn't matter what has been behind you. Your moment is not behind you. It's rising. It's ahead of you. I pray that you begin to look forward to tomorrow with joy right away. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for another week to pass. Begin to look forward with joy tomorrow, because you have the design to deliver journal. You're going through the prompts, the prayers, and you're charting your way forward. Until next time, keep journaling, keep trusting, and remember, you were designed to deliver, even if the journey seems, the keyword there is seems, to have taken longer than you expected. Although we know that it hasn't taken longer than expected, it's exactly where God wants you to be. Until next time, be blessed.